Hello everyone and welcome to the WCG for semi-final one of the 2023 Australia Day T20 Big Bash, which sees the battle of the yellow as the six offenders take on taking over for the first ticket to this year's big dance. For the six offenders, this is their second successive visit to the semi-finals after defeat to last year's eventual winners How's That, but they have never won at this stage of the tournament, and for taking over, this is their first ever semi-final. So for one of these sides, they will qualify for the grand final for the first time in their history. The six offenders easily accounting for the WCG Babes in their quarterfinal, with taking over accounting for the Crabs to earn their spot in the final four. Captains are in the middle and ready for the toss.
Lowest ranked is taking over. Your call. The hill. It's a flat.
We'll have a bat.
Oh.
So the six offender skipper Daniel Hancock has won the toss, and he is elected to bat first here in this first semi-final. So as we take a look at both sides for this grand final qualifier, the six offenders captained by Daniel Hancock once again, who's been fantastic with the ball so far in this tournament, picking up 5 wickets. He'll be joined by his twin brother Nathan and Riley Cornforth, who's been fantastic with the blade, the leading run scorer of this year's tournament, rounding out the six offender squad. And for taking over, they will be led by their skipper Michael Mabry, who's been handy with the blade at the top of the order. He'll be joined by Aaron Gardner, who's been their standout performer with both bat and ball so far, with TJ English rounding out the side. And just before we get underway, we'd like to thank our major partner for this year's tournament, Better Beer, who have been fantastic since jumping on board. It's always a day for it here at the WCG. So one of these sides are about to punch their ticket to their first ever grand final. It's the six offenders taking over. Let's get it on. And it will be Riley Cornforth who will get this semi-final underway with the bat, coming off an unbeaten 45 against the WCG Babes in their quarter-final victory. Can he carry that form into this one? So the first semi-final about to get underway. It's going to be Gardner to go over the wicket to Cornforth first up. Here he's in now, this one's a full delivery. Cornforth gets a thick inside edge onto the fence and he'll move through for a single, and I think his bat got stuck. He looks to be okay, we'll see it better from this angle. He's off the mark nevertheless. Oh, that could have been carnage, but he's okay and underway. Gardner to continue in the opening over of this semi-final. Here he's in now, this one's a back of lane delivery and it's a misfield here from Michael Mabry, who has a second go at it. And I think he's pushed this into the boundary. It's a boundary there for Riley Cornforth. The taking over skipper has made an absolute meal of this. It's a misfield originally. The ball stops dead and he pushes it into the boundary. Can you believe it? Well, a moment there, but Mabry would want to quickly forget. As Gardner's in once again to Cornforth. Now it's a full delivery, hammered down the ground for Cornforth's second boundary. He's away for this semi-final. It's a full toss punch down the ground. Oh, that could have been stopped too. A slow start to this semi-final here for taking over. As Gardner's in once again to Cornforth. This one's a good length delivery and he gets a thick outside edge onto the fence. And Cornforth will move through for another single. So they move along to 10 without loss here in the opening over. He's been brilliant with the blade so far in this tournament, has Cornforth. Here is Gardner is in for the final ball of the opening over. Here it's a good length delivery. Oh, it's going to nick through to the keeper. That's a big wicket for taking over. It's been a pretty decent opening over here from Gardner, to be fair. And he's rewarded with the big wicket of Cornforth, who gets an inside edge through to the keeper. The informed Cornforth has to go for 10. And the informed Gardner takes his 6th wicket of the tournament. So big moments here for the six offenders, as that wicket now brings the skipper Daniel Hancock to the crease at number 2. Both himself and his brother have only amassed 2 runs between them so far in this tournament. Can he stand up here? So it's going to be TJ English to go around the wicket here for the second over, into Hancock first up. Here he's in now, this one has been nudged onto the onside, onto the fence, and Hancock moves through for a single to get off the mark. So as just mentioned, the six offenders have heavily relied on the runs of Cornforth so far this tournament, but the Hancock boys are going to have to stand up here. As English is in once again to Hancock, who bunts this down and he takes a quick single. He takes Mabry on, and it was an awful throw there from the taking over skipper, and he gets home safely. Tense stuff. English to continue to Hancock in the second over. Here he's in now, Hancock advances, and he gets a thick edge through to the keeper, but it looks to have bounced here on first glance. There's not really an appeal here from taking over. Yeah, it's clearly bounced. So English in for the final ball of the second over. It's been a good over so far. This one's played to Mabry once again. He takes him on once again, and this one looked to be a little bit closer, but Hancock gets home safely in the end. It's a good over there from English, just 3 off it. 1 for 13 after 2. It's going to be the taking over skipper, Michael Mabry, to bowl the third over of the innings. Here he's in now and he begins with a full delivery, but this one is down the leg side, so that will have to be re-bowled. So the 6 offenders 1 for 14 in the third over. As Mabry will continue again now to Hancock, and he gets a thick outside edge, and I think this one has gone all the way for 6. It has. Fortuitous here for the 6 offenders, but they will take it. Hancock moves to 9. With the 6 offenders 1 for 20. As Mabry now goes around the wicket here to Hancock, and this one's a full delivery. There's an appeal and he's been given. That's the second one down for the 6 offenders. We must have got a nick through to the keeper. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a good decision, a thick inside edge, and Hancock has to go for 9. Another big wicket here for taking over, and that wicket now brings Nathan Hancock, the last man in for the 6 offenders. Has only had the 1 hit so far in this year's tournament. Can he stand up here? So it's Mabry looking for the kill to continue around the wicket here to Hancock. Here he's in now, this one's a full delivery, and Hancock has hammered this down the ground first up. How about that for confidence from Nathan Hancock? It's not a bad delivery, maybe slightly over pitch, but it's been hammered. So Mabry in for the final ball of the third over. Here he's in now, he pulls his length back, and Nathan Hancock drops this and moves through for a single to end the over. 2 for 25 with 1 to go. So it's going to be Aaron Gardner to bowl the final over of the innings. Here he's in now to Hancock, and this one's a full delivery, and I think this hits Hancock on the body, and he moves through for a leg bye. So the 6 offenders move along to 2 for 26, with 4 deliveries remaining here in the innings. They would like to get a few boundaries away before the end. As Gardner's in once again to Hancock, he gets a thick inside edge onto his body, and this time he'll move through for a single. So good this from Hancock. He might not be getting the boundaries away, but at least he is ticking the score over. They've been good with the ball here, taking over in this semi-final, and they would love to keep the 6 offenders under this 30 mark. As Gardner's in for the third ball of the final over. Here he's in now. This one's a good delivery. Played to TJ English there at mid-wicket, who makes the stop. So a precious dot ball here for taking over. Hancock just can't find the boundary here at the moment. As Gardner's in for the penultimate delivery of the innings. Here he's in now. This one's played upwardly towards English, who takes the catch. The innings is over for the 6 offenders. Taking over, keep the 6 offenders under 30, and they will be happy with that. Gardner takes his 7th wicket of the tournament, and it's 28 to get for a spot in the final. So a good bowling display with the ball once again for taking over. Has seen them restrict the 6 offenders to 27 here in semi-final 1. It's not the biggest score in the world, but it is runs on the board in a final. Cornforth top scoring with 10. Gardner picking up 2 wickets. And it's 28 to get for taking over for a maiden grand final berth. And it will be the taking over skipper who will get this run chase underway. Scores of 9, 11, 16 and 1 at the top of the order in this year's tournament to date. Can he get him off to another good start here? So 28 to get for taking over. Anything less and it's a 6 offenders ticket. And it's Hancock to Mabry first up. Here he's in now, and this has hit Mabry on the body, and he's going to move through for a leg bye. And Daniel Hancock is remonstrating. He doesn't believe he's played at this ball, but it has been given as runs. Oh, I think it's hit the body and then gone onto his bat. So fair call in the end. Hancock to continue to Mabry in the opening over. Here he's in now. This one's a full delivery, but it's pushed down the leg side. So this will be called a wide. So taking over, no wicket for 2 in the opening over. requiring 26 for a maiden grand final berth in just their second year of existence. As Hancock is in once again to Mabry, and this is a kind of a nothing shot here from the taking over skipper. And it's a dot ball here for the six offenders. So the six offenders have a decent total on the board, not a big one, but it's defendable, particularly if they bowl well. As Hancock's in once again to Mabry, who wears this on the body, and this time he opts against a leg bye. So 2 consecutive dots here for the six offenders. As it's skipper v skipper again here in the opening over. And it's a full delivery, and it's a nervous look back here from Hancock. But this one is fine. It's a swing and a miss here from Mabry. It's a 3rd consecutive dot for the over. So Hancock in for the final ball of the opening over. Here, this one's a back of a length delivery, played away on the offside, just out of the reach of Cornforth, and it's gone all the way for a maximum. Well, you felt something had to give. It's played uppishly. Oh, has that gone through him? No wicket for 7. It's going to be Nathan Hancock to bowl the second over here of the run chase. Here he's in now, and he's gone through Mabry with an absolute beauty. That's a brilliant one to start with here from Hancock. Oh, how has that missed? Taking over, no wicket for 9. As Hancock continues in the second over. This one's a full delivery, and it hits Mabry on the leg. And he's going to scamper through for another leg bye. Well, this one very nearly snuck through once again. It's a good bit of bowling here from Nathan Hancock. And Mabry just can't get it away. So Hancock is in for the final ball of the second over. Here he's in now. This one's a good length delivery, and it hits Mabry on the body again. And he moves through for a leg bye to end with. No wicket for 11 after 2. 17 required from 10 deliveries. It's going to be Riley Cornforth to bowl the third over of the innings. It's a back of a length delivery. Mabry backs away and has hit it over the fence. So that's the first wicket down. Cornforth gets the big wicket of the taking over skipper, who has to go for 7. Taking over 1 for 17 in the third over. So a big period you feel coming up here in this first semi-final, as that wicket now brings Aaron Gardner to the crease at number 2. Has got his side home on a few occasions so far in this tournament. Can he do it again? So 17 to get from 9 deliveries. It's Cornforth into Gardner first up. Here he's in now, and he plays his way on the offside eye, but it's hit the bin, and he'll move through for a single. Not a bad result here for the six offenders. 16 to get from 8 deliveries. They require 2 a ball here to get to the grand final here, dude, taking over. As Cornforth will continue randoming it here to Gardner, who plays this uppishly towards Cornforth, and he sticks out a boot, and that could have gone anywhere. But thankfully, from a six offender's point of view, it has not gone to the boundary. It's a good bit of fielding there from Cornforth in the end. So Cornforth is in for the final ball of the third over. Here he's in now to back of length delivery, played towards Nathan Hancock on the offside, and Gardner takes him on, and a direct hit, he would have been toast. But Hancock can't hit the stumps. Gardner was gone for all money, but survives as we head to the final over. So it's 14 to get off 5 deliveries. It's going to be Daniel Hancock to bowl to Gardner. Here he's in now, and this one's hit into the ground iron, but it can't be fielded off his own bowling from Hancock. And I think he's managed to push this into the boundary. It's a brilliant start to this final over for taking over. A fortuitous one, but they all count. 10 to get from 4 as Hancock continues to Gardner in the final over. Here he's in now, and he's knocked him over. That's a big moment here in this semi-final. Daniel Hancock standing up for his side once again. He takes his 6th wicket of the tournament, and perhaps his most important one to date. And are the six offenders on their way to the big dance? So taking over 2 for 18 in the final over. And that wicket now brings TJ English to the crease. The last hope for the men in fluoro. Made 10 in his side's quarter-final victory. They will take that here. So 10 to get from 3 deliveries. 1 wicket for the six offenders. It's Hancock into English, and this one's hit it to the ground. It's a dot ball. It's a precious dot here for the six offenders. They're going to need 2 boundaries here taking over. At least one of them is going to have to be a 6. It's Hancock's into English. This one's overpitched and brilliantly driven down the ground. Taking over is still alive here. That's a beauty there from English. It's 6 off 1. So this amazing semi-final comes down to the final delivery. 4 or less of 6 offenders at home. Taking over need a 6. It's Hancock to English. It's a full delivery, gets a thick outside edge. Oh, but it bounces short. It's gone to the boundary, but it's not enough. The 6 offenders squeak into their first ever grand final by the barest of margins. They win this epic first semi-final by 1 run and taking over 4 agonisingly short. So what an incredible first semi-final we've just witnessed there. The 6 offenders narrowly qualified for their first ever grand final as they sneak past taking over by just 1 run in semi-final 1. Unfortunate for taking over, who have been fantastic in this year's tournament, but their campaign ends at the semi-final stage. But you feel their time is coming soon. So the 6 offenders through to the big dance, and we look ahead to semi-final 2 to see who will join them in this year's grand final. It's the only undefeated team remaining in the tournament, 2 inches short of a length, taking on the 2019 champions Wet Up, and it is next.